Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. So let's get into the NBA playoffs. Round one, game two's going around Tuesday, April 23rd. We got three games on the slate tonight, three interesting matchups. We'll kind of discuss those a little bit on that one. So let's get to it. First game up, 4:30 out here in Phoenix, 7:30 Eastern time. The Suns ready for game two after getting walloped at the, let's put it to you, this third quarter against the T-Wolves. Line in this game currently around 3 points here. T-Wolves about a 150 favorite on the money line, total around 212. So what did we see in game one? Well, we saw Kevin Durant make a bunch of tough shots. KD is KD for a reason, and master of the mid-range, definitely there. Grayson Allen gets hurt. Their three-point shooting struggles. Royce O'Neal hits a couple, but they really can't shoot the three. Devin Booker was absolutely blanketed by Jaden McDaniels, and then Alexander Walker as well. If they play defense on D-Book like that in game two, or the rest of the series, this series is over and can be over very quickly in this one. If they're going to need Booker and Durant both making shots. I think the big thing, too, is the three-point line. So the Suns are going to have to figure out how to make more threes against the Wolves. The Wolves play excellent defense at the three-point line. Another issue is the rebounding. Minnesota, a much better rebounding team than the Suns. So therefore, they get one shot where the T-Wolves seem to get 1.25 shots every time they go down the floor. Anthony Edwards had a fantastic third quarter and finish to the game. AE was awesome. I'll be really honest, I expect him to come back-to-back on this one here. They do not have a defensive player that can stop Anthony Edwards. Rudy Gobert, yeah, maybe Jokic can hang with him in the middle, but KD or Book cannot play enough defense on this. On AE, either can Bradley Beal. Karl Anthony Towns didn't have a fantastic game one. The T-Wolves still won big. What are the Suns going to do? Well, we'll put it to you easily. They're going to go down 0-2 is what we think here in this one. We love the T-Wolves in this particular matchup. Let's give you those list of bets in this game here. T-Wolves -1 in the first quarter, -1.5 first half, -3 for the game. Anthony Edwards, 25 plus points, 30 plus points, 3 plus threes, 4 plus threes, over 36.5 par, and over 2.5 turnovers. AE is rarely at 2.5 turnovers. It is juiced. It was like -160 when we grabbed it. It is juiced, but he does turn the ball over normally 4 times a game pretty consistently. It's not that the Suns play great defense, but as many times as you drive it to the hole, things are going to happen with the dribble. Things are going to happen on a pass, deflect, this, that, and the other. So the 2.5 turnovers. Also in this game, Gobert, 14 plus rebounds. That was plus money on FanDuel, and 15 plus rebounds on that one as well. I think his number, if you're looking at just his regular lines, over under 12.5. We just decided to go one more to get to 14, 15, and take the plus. To just take the plus numbers on that one. I believe he had 16 plus rebounds in game one. Don't see any reason why he won't have a number of those rebounds again, as the Suns do take a lot of mid-range shots, which means there's not huge, long rebounds like teams that take a ton of threes. So expect, we do like Gobert to get those rebounds. Also, Booker, under 24.5 points. McDaniels, like I said, if Jaden McDaniels can play defense like that, Booker has no chance of scoring 25 if he's guarded like he was. Booker under 2.5 threes. Booker under 35.5 par. That's points, assists, rebounds combined. And then KD under 2.5 threes. KD doesn't look like he's lining up for a three at all, unless it's a transition three. The one thing that the Suns are not going to get is a lot of transition offense. Everything seems to be in the half court. They're having to take difficult shots. That's normally going to be mid-range there. No Grayson Allen. You know, do you trust Eric Gordon to make a bunch of threes? Bradley Beal's not a great three-point shooter. Booker and KD haven't been three-point snipers all season long either. So do expect, them to, they might make a couple threes, but hitting 3 threes, I think, is a little bit different story for Booker and Durant in that one. So let's give you those bets one more time in the T-Wolves Suns game. T-Wolves -1 first quarter, -1.5 first half, -3 for the game. Anthony Edwards, 25-plus points, 30-plus points, 3-plus threes, 4-plus threes, over 36.5 par, and over 2.5 turnovers. Gobert, 14-plus rebounds and 15-plus rebounds. Devin Booker, under 24.5 points, under 2.5 threes, and under 35.5 par. And then also Kevin Durant, under 2.5 threes. Just think the T-Wolves have way too much for them. They were the number 1 seed in the West for a reason until Big Cat went down. They were comfortably the 1. Then Cat goes down, misses a bunch of games in the last month plus. Therefore, they slide a little bit. Anthony Edwards, though, I think, in my opinion, a future MVP in this league and definitely a future NBA All-Pro first team. So we'd like the T-Wolves in game 2 there to go up 2-0 in that series. So let's get to the next game. We're going to have Pacers-Bucks. Let's see, 5:30 out here in Phoenix, so 8:30 Eastern time. Bucks favored by 1.5, depending on the book, around $1.20 money line favorite, 222 total in this one. A lot of people are saying, well, the Bucks first of all blew them out, game 1 at home. All the home teams won though, so I made a mistake handicapping a couple of game 1s, took the home court out of it, just expected the better team to win. Not always the case. Game 2. Probably no Giannis again, the way it sounds. I don't think Giannis is going to be back for this first series whatsoever. But possibility. I think everybody kind of saw what I kind of figured what was going to happen in game 1. Damian Lillard could win a playoff series when he was with Portland with just a bunch of, I'm not going to say average NBA players, but just some good players, no superstars. Now he's up with the superstar, but the other superstar's out hurt. He takes over. He took over the early part of that game. They did not relinquish control anywhere along the way. I think the closest it might have got was 12 after that, but it was a Bucks domination in this one. Pacers did not shoot well. Reason why they don't shoot well is because they didn't take enough three-pointers. Halliburton didn't take enough threes. Siakam wants to go to the middle and get into the paint, but Siakam's good looks are probably going to be from the three-point line, a place where he is not as strong. So you can get a lot of three-point looks, but you're not going to get a lot of stuff in the middle, especially with Brook Lopez blocking shots like mad crazy like he did in game 1. So what's going to happen game 2? A lot of people out there think the Pacers shot horribly and are going to shoot better in game 2. They might shoot better in game 2. I don't think the Bucks had their best game either. We're still waiting on some player props in this one. We'll give you what we have so far, but make sure you do come back out and check the Google Sheets at the end of every show we do on YouTube, or you can check out our channels on YouTube and TikTok, and you can see the link to our Google Sheets. That'll be a ledger of all of our bets. So let's give you what we got so far in this one. We think the Bucks are definitely going to take game 2 here. No zigzag needed in this one. I think the Pacers have a really good shot when they're at home. Game 3, game 4. But these first 2 games, even though they don't have Giannis, I think they can still get this game 2 and go up 2-0 headed back to Indianapolis. So Bucks -0.5 first quarter. Bucks -0.5 first half. Bucks -1.5 for the game. Tyrese Halliburton was a complete struggle in game 1. I don't see how it gets any better for him in game 2. So Halliburton under 19.5 points. I think he scored 9 in the last game when his point total was 20.5. Halliburton under 2.5 three-pointers made. Halliburton over 2.5 turnovers. Halliburton under 34.5 par. That's points, assists, rebounds combined. He did not have a ton of assists. He's not a rebounder. And if he's not going to score 20-plus points, he's not hitting this par bet. I mean, you could go 20, 12, and 2 to get to 34. Still not enough to get home on that one. So he's going to need quite a bit in order to get 35 par in this particular matchup here. Like I said, we were waiting on Bobby Portis. I thought Portis was going to get a little bit more action. The donut in the first quarter cost us on his point prop on that one, but we expect Portis to be heavily involved here in this game. Maybe Lillard doesn't score quite as much, but Lillard's going to take it to the hole. He's going to get to the free throw line a bunch, and he's going to find wide open guys for looks. So one more time in this Bucks-Pacers Game 2, Bucks minus a half first quarter. Bucks minus a half first half, minus 1.5 for the game. Halliburton under 19.5 points, under 2.5 threes, under 34.5 par, and over 2.5 turnovers. Last game on the board, Dallas Mavericks, Clippers. Mavs favored by 2. Back at LA for Game 2, 7 o'clock out here in Phoenix, so 10 o'clock Eastern time. Mavs are about $1.30 favorite on the money line, total at 217.5. Do we think James Harden can shoot that good again? I don't. Do we think the Mavs are going to shoot as poorly as they did? Remember, they shot absolutely horrible. They scored a whopping 30 points in the first half. Now, they did score 67 in the second half. I think that's more indicative of what we could see from the Mavericks. Not that they're going to score 67.5, but they definitely can get to that 60 mark. Heck, if they score 45 in the first half, they got a great chance, I think, to win this game. In that last game, Luka, his point prop was 32.5. He hits a bunch of shots late to get to 33. Now, he did not shoot the 3 ball extremely well in that one, so that is something if you like Luka props, which everybody does, right? Because he puts up a ton of points. That could be a little bit of a struggle. We're a little bit light on the player props in this one because we're not sure of everybody who's going to play. If Kawhi is going to be back, I don't think he is the way it looks. We'll be looking at James Harden under threes when these things become available. But the Clipper side, there wasn't much out there. Luka's side started off a little high, so we're going to wait it out and see if the point prop comes down. It opened at 33.5 because he did hit 33 in the last game. And when it comes to Luka, bettors want to bet the over. So we're going to take the Mavericks in this game, as I don't think they could have played a worse game that they did in Game 1. And the Clippers, without Kawhi, played one of the best games they could play in Game 1. So if we get regression on the Clippers side, a little bit of progression on the Mavs side, I think we've got an absolute locked-in winner here. So we do have the Mavs in this particular matchup, minus a half first quarter, minus 1.5 first half, and then we did get them at minus 2.5 for the game. Now, just a reminder, make sure you do check out our Google Sheets, as we're cutting this episode pretty early here, so we don't have all the player props available yet, but we will as we get closer and closer to game time. So make sure you do check those out on there. But one more time, Mavs, so what we got in the Mavs Clippers so far, Mavs minus a half first quarter, minus 1.5 the first half, and minus 2.5 for the game. So that's going to wrap up Tuesday the 23rd. Game 2's round 1, the 3 games going on. Looks like Wednesday's going to have a couple of games, and then we get back closer to the weekend as we're making switches, going back to we're switching venues. So like after the Nuggets, Lakers, Knicks, 76ers, all that kind of fun stuff. They'll be switching venues on that one, going to the road teams in that one. So those games will be coming up here later on this weekend. So make sure you do check out those Google Sheets, like I mentioned multiple times before, as that is a ledger of all of our bets, what juice we got those at, how many units we placed, and then also what book we placed that at, and then obviously the result once the games are over. So I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.